This is part of the first read series where I read a poem just for the sheer joy of it. For the first time, I don't read it to teach it or understand it, really. Sometimes I might go back to a poem later and realize I completely misread it. So I don't know if this is of interest of anybody. I just think this is how I originally approached poetry, how I got a love for it. So I like to do this first. When I read from a poet I don't know or know very little about. That's what's going on with this one. This is from Stay Journal. Stay Journal, stayjournal.org. I picked this writer fairly random. Katherine Beaman. I've never heard of Katherine Beaman before. Sorry, Katherine. So this is a really first experience. To be temporary is to be chronic. So I always look at the form when I start with a poem. And I like this one. The form is spread out over the page. It reminds me of open field poetics, partially because of my own tradition. But it also shows me that the poet is aware of form, is playing with it, has thought about it, I think, putting it on the page like this. Which I like to see before I get into poems, so I don't feel like I'm starting off in the hands of somebody who doesn't know what they're doing already. To be temporary is to be chronic. Yeah, it is. For Eurydice, I didn't know this is a reference to the Greek myth of the woman brought back from the dead. But Orpheus, or this is, somebody else. This is vague Greek myth at the beginning. It's kind of fun. I like how there's space too here in the beginning. The weight, space, or shape was for a moment enveloped in source. I liked the sound of this. I read it a little bit quickly there, I think, but space or shape, source, the sound of a poem often is as interesting to me as what it actually says. But weight, space, or shape was for a moment enveloped in source, a passing storm. This is kind of a neat idea that space or shape gets enveloped in the source of it, this passing storm. On an existential level, the most pure physical idea, like getting caught in the source of it, the idea of it, which is kind of interesting, that space and shape gets caught in what is its essence. And in this well of presence at arm's reach, anonymity has allowed me to lose my fruits, my fantasies slipping away. I've become enraptured, and we shift from this passing storm, this source, to being anonymous and slipping away, become enraptured by the degree of my rapture, being caught up in this sense. I don't know if it's caught up in the sense of the source from earlier, this essence, or just caught up in space or in rapture, swollen with milk or illusion, depending on the lightning, swollen with milk. I don't know how to read that except for a maternal thing, but maybe there's something else there, or illusion, like swollen with the idea or the illusion. Like maybe I've misread this source depending on the lighting. Like it could be either getting the nutrient essence of something or the illusion depending on the lighting of it, which is kind of interesting. I always feel like it's the meaning of the poem, like getting at the meaning depending on the lighting. Like the poem itself is like a interesting lighting of this event that's happening. I'd like this one. I don't know that I have a grasp about what specifically it's saying. I feel like this would fit really well in a series of other poems and really kind of work well. So I'm interested to see what else this poet is doing. There's some more here that I'll read on my own. Not for the video, but I think that's interesting. Interesting how it drifts down the page in this thought process that is not linear towards something.